I'm so glad that you decided to join because, yes, we're going to talk about how there are absolutely still so much money available for, yes, even Black-owned businesses and Black-led nonprofits. So you're in the right place. So I'm in Ohio, Ohio. So let me know where you're coming in from. Give that city and that state a shout out. Let me know. Let me know where you are coming in from. Let me know where you are coming in from. Give that city and that state a shout out. Hello, Karen from Houston and Rashika from Nolans. Nolans is in the house. And who else? Who else is here with us? Denise is coming in from Oklahoma. And Dee, hello. She is back from Houston. And Jaquette is here from South Carolina. All right, all right, all right. Let's see who else. Who else? Who else? Who else? Let's see who is coming in. Who is coming in? All right, all right, all right. Let's see. Wayne from Greenville, South Carolina, and Kathy from Virginia. All right, all right. Who else? Who else? I'm in Ohio, was in the land, Cleveland, and now I'm in our state's capital, Columbus. Hello, Grace from Chi-Town. Chi-Town has shown up. Who else? Who else? Don't be shy. I see you coming in. Who else is with us? All right. Who else? Who else? We're going to get started in about a minute. We're going to let other people come on in. And don't be shy. Let me know your city and your state. Give your city and your state a shout out. All right, all right, all right. So we are getting ready to get started. And as you may know, this is grant writing for Black-owned businesses and Black-led nonprofits. And maybe some of you were with me last night. I held a special webinar about the foundation meeting that typically can absolutely lead to grant money when you meet with the foundations. But today we're going to talk about specifically Black organizations because there's so much misinformation out there. And people are thinking that you, as a Black organization, whether you are Black owned or Black led, can't get any grant money. And my grant writing students are winning 5 and 6 figure grants right now. And yes, they are Black owned and Black led. So we are getting ready to set it straight. Hello, Roberta from Las Vegas. Ooh, I was just in Las Vegas a couple of weeks ago. All right, we're going to get started. Let me share my screen and then we are off to the races. So you should be able to see my screen now. All right, we're going to move this out of the way. All right, so you should be able to see my screen, grant writing for Black-owned businesses and Black-led nonprofits. And let me formally introduce myself. You know, that was the name of a song. I'm probably going to be telling my age all throughout this webinar. So my name is Linda Peavy, and yes, they call me the Grants Queen because I have been in this industry, one, for 17 years, and I've won almost $20 million in grants for clients. And 3 years ago, I created a grant writing school because I wanted to start teaching organizations how to secure grants. That school now has over 3,000 students, including nonprofits and small businesses, because yes, there are grants for both. And I have provided grant writing training to over 30,000 individuals and organizations. I now teach grant writing to your small organizations. It could be your private nonprofit or your small business, or it could be some of the larger organizations like Goldman Sachs, the Urban League, and even the National Association of Women Business Owners. I am a proud alumnus of the Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses Program. And my alma mater is the University of Akron in Akron, Ohio. Go Zips, go Zips. If you know, you know. Yes. Now, I truly consider it to be my mission to help you with funding, especially now. Like this is truly my passion, is to inform you of funding because yes, There are billions of dollars in grants available that's being given away every single day. So I need for you to get this information because you'll probably hear some information today that you probably haven't heard before. But I just need one promise. I just need to know that you're going to share this information that you get with other, specifically Black led organizations, right? Because we're in this together. We cannot keep this information to ourselves because there's too much money available that you should be getting. All right. So make sure that this information you get, you're going to share. Yes, you'll have the replay. We'll talk about that in a minute. But yes, it is about making sure that we're all informed. All right. Now, let me just tell you a little bit about how I got here because I wasn't always called the Grants Queen. I was a publishing executive in Pennsylvania. I was there for 10 years. I was traveling the world in a wonderful job. And then, as what often happens, life happens and the bottom fell out. I got injured. And when I get injured, that was it. I literally went from flying all over the world to putting everything I own into a storage unit back in Cleveland, Ohio, where I was born and raised, because I had to move back home, move in with my sister. Literally came home in a wheelchair. Never thought that would happen. Came home in a wheelchair because I couldn't even stand and moved in with her, everything I own in a storage unit. And it took me 2 years to recuperate, 2 years. And even at the end of the 2 years, I couldn't find a job, right? I'm in Cleveland. Cleveland, if you know anything about Cleveland, you know it's not the publishing headquarters, right, of the United States. And I was in professional publishing. So that's when I started LaPav Consulting because I like to eat and I need a roof over my head, right? So I started LaPav Consulting, and one of my first contracted positions was to be the executive director of a nonprofit. Now, speaking of nonprofits, let me know who is here with me today. Let me know in the chat. Are you a nonprofit or are you a small business, or maybe you have both? Because a lot of small businesses are opening up nonprofits and vice versa. So let me know in the chat. What is your entity? Do you have a nonprofit? Do you have a small business? Or maybe you have both. Maybe you have both. All right. So let me know. Let me know. Both. Wow. Small business, but want to open up a nonprofit. That's always, such a good idea. Small business in Colorado. Hello, Colorado. Beautiful Colorado. I've been there several times. Small business. So we have a mixture of both. And I'm here to say to you, you're in the right place because there are grants for both entities. Now, back to this story, because I'm the executive director of a nonprofit. Now, we're all family here today, people, and people who know me know I keep it real. I keep it real. All right. Because we know that there are times when people who look like us are called in to do what? Save the program, save the project, save sometimes the entire organization, right? Like, hello, Red Lobsters. Okay. So if you know what I mean, give me a yes in the chat, right? So I was, I was called in to be this executive director of this nonprofit, but 2 weeks in, I'm called in to the board of directors office and told that I had to write a grant that would save my job, that would save the organization. I'm seeing some yeses. I'm seeing some yeses. Right. Oh, hello, Noel from Bedford Heights. I know where Bedford is. So I'm being asked to write a grant. I had no knowledge of grants. I had never seen a grant before. Like many of you, I had never seen a grant in my life before. And now I'm being asked to write a grant to save my job. But you know what? I did it. I researched, I wrote that grant, and I saved my job and I saved that organization. So I know that you can do this. I know that you can not only write, but you can win grants with zero experience. What I've learned over the past 17 years is that there is a process to winning. And that is what I'm going to teach you today. And people, it is about more than what you write in the application. There's a whole process to this. So listen up because I don't do fluff. You're going to leave here with a strategy that you can use to start not just writing a bunch of grants, but winning grant money. So after I left that job, grant writing became my most sought after service. So I went from nothing, coming home in a wheelchair, to now I'm able to write $500,000 grants. I went from writing local grants to writing national grants to writing multi-year grants, starting from zero, starting from nothing. And so that's where the money truck comes in, because this is where I started winning these multi-million dollar grants. And you can do this too. I want to see your name on the money truck because some of you have never seen a grant before, but guess what? You can win grants. And over the past 17 years, I've heard from you. I know you're tired of using your own money to fund your organization, whether it's the nonprofit or the small business, because you've been dipping in that bank account in that pocketbook in those pockets, some of you for years now. One of my clients, she had owned, or rather she had led, because you don't own nonprofits, she had led a nonprofit, her nonprofit for 17 years, had never received a dime of grant money, broke my heart. You can do this. I know you're tired of wearing all 20 hats. You're trying to do everything. Do you know that you can use grant money to pay for staff, to pay for help, to pay for contractors, to pay for supplies, to get started? There's startup grant money, right? So why not pursue somebody else's money to pay for to help pay for your organization? Because grants come from third-party resources. And the most important part of it, you don't pay it back. You don't pay it back. All right? All right. Now, what are we going to cover today? I'm going to go over the current grant landscape because you need to know what's going on with grants. I'll teach you some grant basics, but how do you prepare to apply for grants? What do you write? How do you write the application? How do you attract funders who want to give you money? Yes, even you as a Black-led organization, still now. And then how do you conduct grant research so that you're finding these organizations? And then we're going to talk about AI and how you use AI to change the grant game. And then I have a bonus surprise, and then we're going to do a Q&A. Now, speaking of Q&A, this is not the time for any of you to be shy. Ask your questions, place them in either the chat or the Q&A box, and I will answer every single one at the end. But as we move through and you think about these questions, dump them in the Q&A. I'm here to help you because you need help. You need help, especially now, especially with what's going on now. You need help as a Black organization. The money is out there. I will show you where it is, how to get it, and where it's coming from, right? So you can do this. You're going to get a copy of the replay. I am here to help you. Therefore, I'm not charging you for the replay. You will get the replay for free. Just make sure you share it with some other organization so that they get this information too. Because again, I'll probably say a few things that you haven't heard before. So just make sure you share it. Make sure you share it with other organizations, right? Because what did I say at the beginning? We're in this together. All right? All right. Now, why are we here? We are here because we as Black organizations, we need access to funding, and it shouldn't always be about loans. Like, are you as tired as I am of hearing about loans? Yes, grant money is not paid back. But why pay a grant writer when you can tell your own story, right? Nobody can tell your story like you. And here's a little secret. Um, grants are no longer 100-page documents. A lot of these grants are 3, 4, 5 pages because foundations don't have the staff to sit and sort through a 100-page document. Even the federal grants are shorter. And it's not taking weeks to write grants. It's taking hours to write grants. Again, AI has changed the game. But please know there's a process to winning. And that is what I'm going to show you. And it's about more than what you write in the application. All right, so we ready? All right. Let's start with what's going on with grants. We know that the federal government, which is currently shut down, right? They cut grants. They cut their federal money. They rescinded grants. They froze grants. But grants, federal grants, do not equal all grants. Grants come from thousands of resources, thousands of resources. So you still have your private foundations, community foundations, family foundations, corporate foundations that are still giving billions of dollars in grants. And yes, they're giving to nonprofits, and yes, they're giving to small businesses. So you are covered. And when I say small business, you could be an LLC, you could be a sole proprietor, you could be a solopreneur, you could be an S Corp, you could be a C Corp, right? Right? So be encouraged, people. Grants are available. Now, here's even more good news. Because of the federal grant cuts, your corporate and family and community and private foundations are stepping in, and they are literally increasing the amount of their grants. They're increasing the number of grants they provide, and they're increasing the amount of the money that they're providing. Why? Because they're trying to fill in the gaps left by the federal grant cuts. Because guess what? Just because the federal government decided that they were no longer going to provide federal grants didn't mean the need disappeared. The need is as great as ever, wherever it is that you open up your nonprofit or your small business, that need still exists. And here's some other good news. Do you know that your state and local governments have grant money? Yes. Have you spoken to your city, right? Your city officials? They have grant funding. Not all state and local government funding comes from the federal government. Oftentimes, they're able to generate their own funds. And that's what's happening, right? Right now in Ohio, there's a $30 million grant for small businesses. In Michigan, there's a $20 million grant. So be encouraged because the money is available. All right. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Let's talk about DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. We know that that means minorities, all minorities, women of any ethnicity, veterans, the disabled. So if this is your audience, this is for you. We know that the federal government has cut DEI funding, federal funding, and they're trying to pressure even a lot of the foundations and the other organizations and universities to cut their DEI funding. But guess what? Foundations give to these communities. These are the communities that they fund. So, what are they going to do? They're getting pressure from the current administration to stop funding these communities, but literally their very mission is to fund these communities. And for some of you, that's true as well. You fund these communities. So, what do? You tweak the language. This is how you're still going to get that DEI money. You tweak the language. Instead of you speaking about ethnicities or gender and using terms like Black or African American or women, you're going to focus on what are the conditions that you're trying to address? What are the outcomes that you want? You adapt the language. We call it in the grant world quiet DEI. Let me show you exactly what you're going to do. Let's say you have a youth development program for Black boys. That's who you serve. You serve Black boys. You don't stop serving Black boys just because DEI funding has been cut. You tweak your language. So now you're going to say we provide youth development for historically underserved and underrepresented boys. We know what that means, right? But it keeps that application from being rejected because you use the term Black. Or serving boys disproportionately impacted by economic and educational inequities, right? The same for women. Let's say you are a career coach. You have an LLC. You provide employment and career coaching for women. Tweak that language. Now you can say our program offers workforce development support for those facing systemic barriers to career advancement. You know, what you're talking about? You're talking about women. Providing career development services tailored to those who experience unique workforce challenges due to what? Caregiving, responsibilities, wage gaps, and systemic inequities. And by the way, workforce development is probably the number one area right now that's being funded by grants. So if you have any type of programming where you provide any type of job training, soft skill training, job placement, jobs, period, workforce development, that's a hot area. But do you understand what I'm saying? Because this is very important for you to get, because this is how you are still going to pursue and get funding that was earmarked for DEI, right? So give me a yes if you get this in the chat, because this is very, very, very important for you to get. This is how you're still going to get this DEI funding. You're going to tweak your language, all right? So that you can get that application through, because that is your mission, is to get the funding. All right? All right. Now, let's go back to basics. What do you need to know? Grants are not paid back. For those of you with nonprofits, make sure you have your 501c3. Make sure also that you are checking the chat for links, because we're dropping some important links in the chat. If you need your 501c3, go to the IRS. It's taking 8 weeks, about 8 weeks to get it. All right. Now, everybody, look at this slide. Everybody. This is the amount of grant funding that's being given every year. The 2024 numbers just came in. $200 billion. And guess where it's coming from? Foundations, corporations, and bequest giving. You don't see federal funding anywhere on here. This is the money that's being given out right now, people. This is the money that some of you are not getting because you thought there was no grant money available. Yet you got other organizations. My grant writing students absolutely are aware, and they are getting this money. Yes, even as Black-led organizations. $200 billion, that's being given out right now because they expect the 2025 numbers to increase. So we're seeing it. These grants are being provided. So you've got to place yourself in a position to get it. And it's not going to happen on the sidelines. In order for you to get grant money, you need to write grants, right? But I need for you to know that the money is available. And yes, Black organizations are receiving it. All right. Now, first, I need for you to prepare to apply for grants. This will help you. If you don't have some type of a software editing tool on your computer, like download Grammarly. I love Grammarly, and it's free. If you're using Grammarly, give yourself some love right now in the chat. I love Grammarly. That's right. Why is it important? Because I don't want you submitting grant applications full of grammatical errors. And it does not matter. It does not matter how many degrees you have. This is so easy to do, right? You do not have to be a professional grant writer to get grants. This is what I'm showing you. I am a professional grant writer. However, I am also a professional editor and a professional writer. I wouldn't write anything without Grammarly. It's free, people. You download it onto your computer. Totally free. Denise is using it. It's going to help you. Now, also, you need to get your documents in order. Do you have your EIN, your employer identification number? Nonprofits, do you have your 501c3? Especially small businesses, are you legitimate? Do you have your articles of incorporation? You're going to need this to apply for grants. Nonprofits, do you have your list of board members? Do all of you have letters of support? Get letters from, look, drop names. It could be from the mayor, politicians. It could be from your pastor, your church, community leaders. Get those letters ready. You never know who knows who. And then if you are currently operating, you need a financial statement, right? That's your balance sheet and your profit and loss statement, and then your operating budget. All right. Now we're on to the actual grant application. I'm going to be giving you best practices so that you know how to write every section that we're going to cover in a way that tells your story, because a grant application is an opportunity for you to tell your story. All right. Let's start with the mission. All of you need a mission statement. Yes, even if you have a small business, you must have a mission statement because the mission goes beyond defining who you are and what you do and your aims and your goals. It can align you to the foundation that wants to give you funding. Because if your mission is laser focused on the restaurant business, maybe you have a bakery, you're baking cakes all day. You don't want to pursue grant money from the foundation that only gives money to organizations that build motorcycles. 80, is it 82 or 87? I think it's like 87% of grants are rejected because they were sent to the wrong foundation. They should never have even been sent to the foundation. People look at money first. Oh my gosh, there's $100,000 grant. I need to pursue it. And it's not even for you. So you have to make sure that your program, your organization is in alignment with the foundation that is giving the money. All right. Make sure you have a mission statement. That's homework 101 for you. And next, this is how foundations are giving grant money. When you describe your organization, you must talk about impact and transformation. Let's say you have an after school program. It's not good enough for you to just say we serve 150 students. What is happening with those students? Can you say that 80% improved their test scores or 60% gained confidence because of the after school program? That's measurable change. You have an LLC, maybe you have a restaurant. How many people started attending your restaurant when you first opened versus now? How many people did you hire when you started versus now? What has been your impact on the community? Right? Maybe that's the only restaurant within, who knows, 2 or 3 miles. Talk about how you and your existence has transformed the people that you are there to serve. Now, what if you have no impact? What if you have not opened? What if you are a startup? I still need for you to address impact, but now you're going to project. So let's say you have a tutoring program, right? You can say that once students complete my tutoring program, I project that they are going to increase their reading proficiency scores by 10%, which will help them to graduate on time, impacting their future career. So yes, even if you haven't opened, you can talk about what you hope your impact will be. And you write that right into the application and use your images, use your testimonials, right, to help tell your story when you're talking about this impact. Because this is literally how foundations are giving. Like who's showing that they're different, that they're providing something different? And ask yourself, why did you open? This addresses the need or the problem that you're addressing. And there always has to be a problem because why did you open? Why did you feel the need to open? Let's say you have a jewelry company. You want to open an online jewelry store. You're a small business. Why? There's a million jewelry stores online. What's different about yours? Maybe you make homemade jewelry. That would set you apart. That's different. Maybe your jewelry is for people with sensitive skin. That would set you apart, right? Because that's what foundations want to know. And yes, there are foundations that give grant money to people who open up jewelry stores. There's grant money for you, all of you, as long as you're doing something legal. It is about where and how you find it. That's one of the reasons why I develop a community of people who work with me so that they know where and how to find grants. Because that's where the frustrating part comes in when you don't know where to look, don't know how to look. This is also why you have to know where foundations give so that you know that you are in alignment with that foundation. And how do you find out where they give? Go to their websites. Now, I know 90% of foundations don't have a website, but there are other ways that you can get their information. All right. And typically, if they release a grant application, they have a website. All right. Now, all of you have to make a decision though. When you are applying for grants, are you going to apply for operating grant money or program project grant money? Now, try to always get operating grant money if you can, because you get to decide where to put operating money. You can put it towards salaries, IT, building a website, your utilities, your lease, your rent. About 32% of foundations give what's called general operating support. It's really to build up your capacity. It allows you to pay for your administrative cost. Most foundations give to a program or project or service of your organization, which is okay. Let's take that bakery, which is an LLC. Maybe she wants to start a delivery service. That could be a project, right? But whatever you do, you must always apply to multiple foundations. And I want you to tell me why in the chat now. Let me know in the chat. Why do you think it is important that you should always apply to multiple foundations? Yes, simultaneously. Why do you think that is? Keep in mind, people, this is a marathon. This is not a sprint. This is a marathon. You don't limit your opportunities, Vicky. Absolutely. Karen, it gives you options and more money. Yes, Roberta, it's a numbers game. Yes. In case one doesn't come through, D, absolutely. Why? Because grants are not guaranteed. Noel, yes, it just gives you more options and increases your chances, Dr. Carl. Yes. But also, grants are not guaranteed. Do not let anybody tell you they can guarantee you grant money. 99.9% of the time, they are scammers. I see it on social media all the time. Drives me crazy. Oh, come over here. Everybody wins. Everybody gets grant money. Just give me your money and I'll make sure you get grant money. No such thing. 99.9% of the time, they're scammers. So you have to be careful and apply to multiple foundations. Yes, there's no limit to how much grant money you can get, people. There's no limit to the number of grant applications you can have out there, to the number of foundations you can apply to. No limit. So why stop with one? And even if you get a grant, please don't ever stop there. You might have heard of the organizations that they get $1 million grant. They're so happy. And then once they use the money, that's it. They go out. They go under. No, no more organization because they stopped and they didn't pursue other grants. Now, partnerships are everything. I cannot stress this to you enough. Partnerships, your community partnerships will strengthen your grant application. This question is going to be on the grant application, and you all should have them. They do two things that can help you get grant money. They increase your level of visibility because some of you have phenomenal programs or services or companies. Nobody knows about them. Nobody knows about you, even in your own community. This is why you have to increase your level of visibility, and you do so through community partners. Let's say you have an accounting firm. You give a tax talk every month at your local library, which I think are phenomenal partners. They're going to promote your tax talk, right? You're going to have a willing audience. But what does it do? It gets your name out in the community because foundations are always looking at who's doing what in their community. Now you've got a phenomenal partner with the library, right? Let me give you another example. We should just bring this home to you. Let's say a young lady has an ex-offender program, an ex-offender program. She wants to make sure that when people are released from the criminal justice system back into society, they are successful members of the community and they don't go back to jail. Everybody wants that recidivism rate to be low. That's the rate at which people go back to jail. Nobody wants that to be high. I want you to tell me in the chat, who should she be meeting with? Who should be her community partners? Now, remember, she's got to get access to the inmates to interview them just to make sure they qualify for the program before they're even released. You tell me who she should be meeting with. Who should be her community partners in the community? Who should they be? Absolutely, Vicky. Transitional homes. Why? Because when they are released from jail, you don't want them to be homeless. You want them to have somewhere to live. And probation and parole officers, absolutely. Because they can then maybe even recommend her program to other organizations, to other jail systems, right? These are the people that she should be meeting and developing partnerships with. Yes, Roberta, community counselors, because maybe they need a GED, and maybe the community counselor can send them to a facility where they can get a GED so that they can get a job, right? And Vicky, absolutely, churches, because churches often have ex-offender programs. While I take a sip, this is not difficult. Do you see how we just came up with like 5 or 6 different community partners? This is what you're going to do for your organization. Doesn't matter if you have a nonprofit or a for-profit. I need for you to name 5 organizations that you are going to partner with in your community based on your organization. And you don't need to have them solidified before you submit the grant application. You can write down the names and say, these are the partnerships that I am pursuing. And last but not least, if they are ingrained and embedded in the community, which they are, because I want you to pursue well-respected organizations, they know where the funding is. They can refer you to different foundations within a community that they know are giving funding, right? Because they exist in that community. So there are a number of reasons why you need community partners. So that's your homework. That's your homework. Name 5. Now we're on to the money. This is the grant budget. Whatever you do, itemize your expenses. You can't just say, I need 50 grand for an executive director, and that's it. No. Is it a contracted person? If so, how many hours are they going to be working for you a week, and how much are you paying them per hour? And how many weeks out of the year? Do you need supplies? How much are the supplies? And who's using the supplies? Your description of how you're using the grant money goes into the budget narrative. The numbers go into the budget. And here's a nugget for all of you. Here's a clue. When you are writing about the budget narrative, always connect the grant money back to your mission and the mission of the foundation so that the foundation knows, oh, okay, so you're going to be using the grant money that absolutely supports our mission. Because at the end of the day, it's their grant money. They want you to be able to use it in a way that supports their mission. And it should support your mission too. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, like, oh, this is not too bad, but oh my gosh, I don't have time for this. I don't have time to write grants. Remember what I said to you at the beginning of this presentation? Some of these grant applications are 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. One of my grant writing students just won an $84,000 grant, a Black organization, just won an $84,000 grant. She said, Linda, was the easiest application I ever submitted. It was like 3 or 4 pages, but she is one of my grant writing students, so she knew how to write. She said, I couldn't believe it. It's like 3 or 4 pages. And AI will give you your time back. AI will give you your time back. It doesn't take weeks to write grants anymore. It takes hours. So I have a question for all of you who are thinking, oh, Linda, I don't know. I don't know if I have time for this. I have a question for all of you, and I would like an answer in the chat. Do you have time to get free money? Do you have time to get free money? Let me see in the chat if anybody has time to get free money. I don't know if anybody has time to get free money. I'm saying yes. I'm saying absolutely. I'm saying yes always. I'm saying I have time. I'm saying yes, ma'am. I'm saying indeed. I'm saying of course. Yes, 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 yes. So it looks like you got time to get free money. So if you've got time to get free money, I just need for you to spend a little bit of time on the process to get the free money. What are you going to do? You're going to build a relationship. I told you I'm not doing the fluff today. This is how this slide here, if you don't take anything else away from this webinar, this is the slide. Because this is the make or break slide. Because this is often the deciding factor as to whether or not you're going to get the grant. Did you meet with that foundation first? Did you meet with that funder first before you submitted the application? You need to build a relationship with the foundation. Yes, you're going to meet with them. You should want to meet with them. You're trying to get their grant funding. By the way, they want to meet with you. They're considering giving you their grant funding. And in this meeting, oh my goodness, they will give you insights about that grant that's not even on their website. I probably set up 1,000 of these in the last 17 years. I always remember one, my client, 30-minute Zoom meeting, $30,000. 30-minute Zoom meeting because what? The missions aligned. And yes, I did say Zoom. You do not have to meet with the foundation in person. Now, if the foundation is in close proximity to you, like in your same city, yes, meet with them in person. If not, this is a Zoom meeting. I talked extensively about this last night in a special webinar that I held because this meeting is everything. It can decide whether or not you get the money. Now, how are you going to do this? What are you going to do? You're going to send them an email. In the email, you are introducing your organization. So you found the foundation, right? That aligns to your service or program. Now you need to meet with them. You send them an email introducing yourself. In the email, you lay out the alignment. You lay out how your missions are aligned, how your programming is aligned. AI will do this for you too. AI will write the letter for you. But you send this email. What you're not going to do is ask for money in the email. No, don't ever ask for money in the email. That's like asking for an instant rejection letter. You're asking for a meeting, and in the meeting, you're asking for the money. Got it? September 18th, that was what? A couple of weeks ago. I get these all the time, by the way. We have a private Facebook group for the students that are in my course and in my programs. I just got this a couple of weeks ago. This is Sisters Against Domestic Violence. Hezbollah. They got a $10,000 grant from the Emmy Lou Tompkins Foundation. They said, we now have the funding to assist our next client and our legal support for survivors. All praises to the Most High. Linda Peavy's course really works, y'all. A couple of weeks ago, this person had not written any grants, had not won any grants, had not written any grants, didn't know how, had not won any grants. All right. Sisters Against Domestic Violence, Black organization. This is how you get the money. You need to find the foundations that align to you. How are you going to do it? You're going to do your research. Google is fine, but Google is not going to get you everything you need. I need for you to go to a real website that focuses on providing information about grants. Here are the major ones. Foundation Directory Online, they will give you information on the organizations that provide grants, not the grant, the organizations. They're $50 a month or free access at your local library. Grants.gov, that's the source of federal grants. Believe it or not, there are still some grants left. Lilly Foundation, do I have any churches, any faith-based organizations? Yes, you can get grants. I know of two church grants right now. One is specifically for Black churches. Black churches doesn't even have a limit on the amount of grant money. The other one is for worship. This is what happens when you are in a community where you get the information that you need about what is going on. Yes, you can get churches, you can get grants as a church. Grant Watch is $20 a week or $200 for the whole year to do your searches. It gives you a grant list, a synopsis of the grant, the contact information. Grant Station is $200 for the whole year. You search as much as you want. They have information about the funder and the grant, and they provide free trainings. UrbanAwarenessUSA.org, they're a Black organization. They're having a conference, I believe, in November. Sign up for them. Tell them Linda Peavy sent you when you sign up. Free training. They give you information on weekly grants, and they're Black owned. For all of you creators, you could be a poet, a writer, a musician in the theater, right? An artist. This portal is phenomenal. It's called Grants for Creators. I mean, it is phenomenal, people. I think it's like $97 for the whole year. And they, oh my gosh, they drop information on so many grants. The grant portal is the internet's largest grant catalog. It's $197 for the whole year. Instrumental, if you can afford it, offers grants and grant research assistant, but they're $200 a month. You don't need to spend that kind of money. You don't. To find grants. You don't. All right. So choose one so that you have a place to go where you are searching for grants. All right. Keep asking your questions. I see some in the chat. Now, let me just show you how this works. This is Grant Station. I mentioned it's $200 for the whole year and you get to search as much as you want. Excuse me. Now, look to my right. Areas of interest. You need to know what is your area of interest. Is it health, religion, social sciences, social service, education, economic development? Choose one because for every block you see, there's like 10 to 12 drop down blocks. So you really get to hone in. Who are you serving, people? This is important. Listen to me on this. You cannot help everybody. That's why organizations get burnt out and they go out of business. You're trying to help everybody. You can't do it. You need to choose one or two target populations and have a referral list for everybody else. You can't help everybody. When you do that, you dilute the services that you're providing. Focus on one or two target populations. Because if you tell me, oh, I help veterans, you help veterans do what? Do you help veterans get into transitional housing? Do you help them get mental health and wellness counseling if they have PTSD? Be specific. You input this information into Grant Station and you push a button and you get a list of grants and organizations. Now, let me say something to you about geographical scope because many of you leave money on the table. You have to start local. Meet with your local community foundations. Find out which local organizations are giving funding. And you can often do this and find this out through these grant portals. Hone in on your city or your state first. It's easier to get local grant funding, but whatever you do, don't disregard your national funders. You need to go after that funding also, because there could be organizations in Texas and they're giving you money, you're in Tennessee. And for my global community, this is absolutely for you. You could live here in the US and your program could serve people in Kenya. All right. So this is not just for US based organizations, but this is Grant Station. They're $200 for the whole year. I'm going to show you this list of grants. I'm not going to go through every one, but I show you this list so that you know when you are searching for grants, search broadly. So, for example, if you have a small business, search for grants that are geared for people with small businesses, regardless of what they are. But also target, search for grants that are geared towards Black organizations or Black women-led organizations. So, list of Black grants. Go to that site. Do you have a Black-led nonprofit? There's a list of grants on support Black charities. Operation Hope, that's John Hope Bryant's organization. He wants to help 1 million Black businesses. He's at 400,000. LISC funding, they fly under the radar screen, but they've given away over $1 billion to help communities of color since 1979. Find out whether or not they're in your state. Amber Grants for Women, they give away $30,000 every month. Shea Moisture, that grant, I believe, opened yesterday. Are you opening up a Black hair care salon? NAACP, they have a list of grants. Are you creating a film about the Black experience? That's the Ford Foundation. Amarillo, they're in Texas. All they do is help super small organizations. Yes, that means you. You can be small. You can be a solopreneur. You can be a small, tiny nonprofit and still get grant money. You don't need some huge organizational chart. You might be saying, Wanda, I don't pay staff. I don't even pay myself. That's okay. You can still get grant money. Amarillo is in Texas. Do you have a startup? Busy and Sky's the Limit both have startup grants. Speaking of startup grants, I'm going to go back to Amber Grants for Women because they're one of the few organizations I know that will give startup money based on your idea alone. You don't even need to have earned 1 cent. Amber Grants for Women will give startup money based on your idea. All right? All right. Now, really quickly, I want all of you to place into the chat what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about banks and money? Banks and money. Banks and money. I don't see a lot of questions. You can still ask questions as we go through. Let me know in the chat what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you think about banks and money. Banks and money. What comes to your mind? Loans. What else? What else? Credit. Long process and red tape. Yes, repayment. Difficulty getting approved for loans. That's why you're going to go after grants because banks are some of the largest providers of grant money. Yes, I said grant money in the United States. Bank of America and Wells Fargo each separately give over $120 million every year in grants. You need to meet with your banks. But it's not your loan officer, it's not your branch managers. It's usually a VP of community development or economic development. I'm putting the titles in the chat so that you know who to ask for. Yes, banks give grant money. Yes, you need to meet with them. All right. Usually like a VP of economic development, community reinvestment, community development, grant money. I'm in Ohio. One of the largest foundations in Ohio is the Key Bank Foundation, part of Key Bank. Citizens, Huntington, PNC, they all provide grants. All right. Now, let me talk to you about AI. It is really phenomenal, but you cannot use it as a replacement. There is no replacement for you learning how to write about your organization for a grant application. There's no substitute for that. Nobody knows your organization better than you. AI can't get information about you that you don't give it. So you have to be able to write about your mission, your need statement, your impact statement, your history, the programming, why it's successful, what do you want to do with it, who is your target population. You have to come up with this. You know your organization, but it can help you. It will re-edit, it will retool, it will rewrite, but you got to feed it. And if you know anything about AI, you use prompts. Those are the questions that you're asking it about your organization, but it is phenomenal. It is a game changer in terms of helping you produce a winning grant application, but you've got to feed it. So you've got to write about your organization, about your program, and then you upload that into AI and let it work as magic. This is so important. I'm going to do just let's go back, a quick demonstration on this. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to pull up my chat GPT, which I have version 5, which is the latest version because I have the paid version. You do not need the paid version. Chat GPT is free, people. To me, that's one of the most remarkable things is that it's free. I want to share my screen. I want to show you, I'm making this up. I'm doing this live and I'm making this up. All right. We're going to say, I have a veterans I have a nonprofit in Columbus, Ohio that serves homeless veterans. I place them into transitional housing. What are some of the stats on the homeless or veterans population in Columbus that I can use on my grant application, right? Because you need data. When you're writing the application, you're asking for money. So the foundation is going to wonder, well, are there homeless veterans in Columbus, right? That could benefit from your organization. So this is pretty simple, right? We're not even going to correct well, let's correct that, right? So that's a pretty simple prompt. I have a nonprofit in Columbus, Ohio that serves homeless veterans. I place them into transitional housing. Really simple. What are some of the stats on the homeless or veteran population in Columbus that I can use on my grant application? Let's just push the button. So it's searching the website. Now, did that take 2 or 3 seconds? It's giving you key information on the homeless population in Columbus. Total homeless on one night, right? Number of people that need shelters or transitional housing, right? Worst year on year increase, right? It even gives you information about the cost of housing and rent, which there's been a 34% increase, which supports the fact that you've got so many homeless people because they can't even pay for rent, right? Or housing. You can use all of this data in your grant application. There are the homeless veterans in Ohio, right? Year over year change. All of this data that you can use, and it even gives you information for your grant narrative. Listen to this. Demonstrate rising urgency is literally telling you what to put in the grant application. The 7.4 increase in homelessness in Columbus and Franklin County between 2024 and 2025, current information shows the crisis is worsening. Like, is that not amazing, people? Is that not amazing? That's what you can do with AI. That's what you can do with AI. Can you show again what you typed into ChatGPT? Yes. Let me show you exactly what I put into ChatGPT. It was simple. It was a simple prompt. This is what I put. I have a nonprofit in Columbus, Ohio that serves homeless veterans. I place them into transitional housing. What are some of the stats on the homeless or veteran population in Columbus that I can use on my grant application? That was about as simple as it can get. And it just not only broke everything down for me, it gave me narrative that I could use for my grant application. Target population justification, show the gaps in the resources is literally telling you what to do. All right? All right. Now I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint and share my screen and get back to where we were. All right. Let me share my screen. There we are. All right. I'll just have to go back to the slide that I was on. Let's get back to the AI slide. But I want you to see what you can do with AI. All right. Now, if you want to turn right that the next meeting into funding or the next application of funding, I offer the opportunity to work with me. I provide this community where you can get your questions answered. You can get counsel on what grants you should be pursuing. You can get writing tips. You can get grant updates. Oh my goodness, we dropped so many grants in our private Facebook group. It keeps you focused and accountable because many of you are thinking, well, I don't know, can I do this by myself? And you walk away and then life happens and you don't get back to this. I am so proud to say that literally yesterday, it took me 2 years to create this. It is an AI powered grants accelerator. It literally shows you how to use ChatGPT to help you write and win grants. It is the AI powered grants accelerator, write winning proposals faster. It's a $3,000 value because it is going to save you so much time. I give you one little demonstration of what you can do with AI. This is a course that will take you through how you use AI to write proposals literally 5 times faster. I created a custom chat GPT for this course that is only about grant writing. It will literally help you write lightning fast applications. That prompt that I included, I have 150 prompts in this course. You can use it to help you find organizations, to help you summarize grant proposals, right? So, for example, let's say you come across a grant proposal. You can upload the grant proposal from the foundation into my program. And then you can maybe upload your website or your URL or information about your programming into my program, my chat GPT. It will compare. It will let you know where your program aligns to the grant proposal. You can edit. Let's say you are verbose. Let's say that the grant question is asking for 1,000 words and you write 2,000 words. Put it into this program. It will get it down to 1,000 words. It will help you create templates. It will help you create your budget. You also get access to that private Facebook group that I talked about. That's my group of, there's over 2,000 grant writing students in that group. You will get monthly group coaching, right? And for a lot of people, this alone is worth $3,000 because they have spent so much money, because time is money, people, applying to the wrong foundation, wasting time, getting rejection letters, getting frustrated, just stopping altogether. You can't stop, people. Your program is needed, your company is needed. You can't stop, right? So I introduced this last night. The price is going to be $497. But I this is my introduction. I literally introduced it last night. It took me 2 years to build this program. It's $117. That's for the next 3 days. Literally, this is the introductory price. It's 117. You have until Sunday, and then it's going to be 497, or two payments of $67. It literally released yesterday, and you don't even need a coupon. I'm placing the link in the chat. You don't even need a coupon for the next, literally for the next 3 days is $117. It will be 497. This is a game changer for you. For those of you who just you've been lost. You know there's grant money out there for you. This will help you. This will allow AI to help you. And there's nothing to be fearful of. You literally, I did a live demonstration. There was nothing scary about that. I input the prompt. I asked it to give me information. It gave me information, right? Again, I have over 150 prompts in this course. Now, remember I said to you, you've got to still learn how to write. You need to be able to write about your programming or write about your need statement, or write about your impact. For that, I have my full grant writing course. That is grant writing for non-writers, right? This is a course where I have 3,000 people in learning how to write that information. And then you can take it and put it into AI, right? So once you learn how to write about your organization, then you take the components and then you can just dump it into AI and say, okay, I wrote about my history. I want you to make it sound better, AI. You can dump it into AI and it will make your history sound better, right? So this is the full soup to nuts grant writing course. It will teach you how to write every part of the grant application, right? It has built-in discussion starters for every question in here. So this is what happens. At the end of this course, you have a grant template. Once you answer the question in this course, you can then put the answer into Chat GPT and have it give you even write it even better. But the goal is for you at the end of the day to have a grant template. Whether it's your writing or you let AI help you write it, you have a grant template. See how AI gave you all of the data to support the fact that the person has a homeless veterans program in Columbus. You take that data and you put it into the grant template, because I have a question in here in the course about data. So let AI get the data for you. Do you know that that saved hours of research, hours. And it took, I don't know if it was 2 or 3 seconds. This is the full course. You get my coaching, you get the monthly group coaching, but you come into the Facebook group and you let me know, do you have any questions about your meeting? Let's say you're getting ready to meet with the foundation. Come into the Facebook group and let us know. I'm getting ready to meet with the foundation. So this is your soup to nuts grant writing course. You get 12 modules, 35 lessons. I give you real grant examples so that you see what a grant looks like. You see what a winning grant looks like. You get planners, you get workbooks, you get videos. Because at the end of the day, you need to know how to write the grant application, the components in the grant application. You're going to get help from AI from to get the best components in that grant application. All right. Now, this course was audited. I've had it audited 3 times now, just to make sure you get what you need. And it's a $5,000 course based on my audits. The 12 modules are worth $3,549. The videos are worth $599. Actually, you get a list of 600 organizations that provide grants with the full course, 600. And you get workbooks and grant trackers so that you can track your progress. All right. But you hopped on the webinar. The course is $497. That's the regular price of my grant writing course because I keep it reduced because I know you need help. Before this year was $997. I literally reduced it because I know what's going on. Like you need help, right? So earlier this year, I reduced it to $497, but you hopped on this webinar. So for the next 3 days, you take $200 off of the $497. So for the $5,000 full grant writing course, you will know everything you need to know about grant writing. People have taken the course and they have become professional grant writers. So now they're literally grant writing to help themselves earn money. It's amazing what has happened. It's $297. One payment, one and done. But you got to use a code. I'm going to show you how to use the code because this course is $500. That's what people pay. But I'm giving you a special code to use so that your price is $297. And I even give you a payment plan if you want to make payments over 2 months. It's $175 a month for 2 months. That code is foundation with the number 2. The course never expires. This is what you need to know. This course never expires. The AI course never expires because I want you to have this information. So I'm going to say that again because people ask me like they can't believe this. The course never expires. The AI course never expires because you need the information forever, right? So I'm not going to put some expiration date on it. All right. Now, this is everything you get with the full grant writing course. The course, the Facebook group, the coaching, it's tax deductible. You can write all of this off. You can write off the $117, which is a crazy price for the AI course, but I'm launching it. It's new. It's going to be $497. Right now it's $117. This is $297. Write it off as all tax deductible. You get a certificate of completion for each one for the main grant writing course and for the AI course. You get certificates, separate certificates. All right. These people here, they just paid less than $300 for the regular course. Whitney won $200,000. She started local and then she went national. Remember, I said, please start local and then go national. She got $40,000 from the Southern Power Fund. Did you know that your utility companies have grants? How many? I want to hear from you. Give me a yes in the chat if you knew that your utility company has grants. If it's a major utility company, we have several in the Cleveland area. They provide significant dollars. This is the information that you get to know when you are in a community. Yes, I've heard of them. Yes, utility companies. They provide grants. And she got $40,000 from hers. And then she went national. Remember, I said go national. She got $50,000 from a national funder. Kanisha, $100,000. These are Black organizations winning six-figure grants right now. A couple of months ago, Kimberly, $84,000, a 3 or 4 page grant application. Cherie, $11,000. This is the extra bonus that I'm going to give you because I am trying to get you to the grant money. The U.S. Black Chambers, they put out a list called the Buy Black Grant List. It is a list of grants for Black small businesses and Black-led nonprofits. It is $195 to subscribe. I'm going to give you the latest edition when you buy the course. I want you to get off to a good start. I want to hear your testimonial, right? There are grants available because you've got to ask yourself, where do you want to be in 3 months? Do you still want to be frustrated? You heard there was some grants, you keep getting rejected. You don't know where to look. It's taking you forever just to write a grant application. You're scared because it's like you haven't done this before. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't even think about writing a grant. I'm going to say to you what I say to myself, what has led me. Your success is on the other side of your fear. Do you think these other Black organizations weren't afraid or weren't scared about writing a grant? They were, but they're in a community where they have help. They get their questions answered, right? They have guidance. That's what makes a difference. Either you're going to try to do this out there alone by yourself and get frustrated and stop, which is what most people do, or you're going to be led and helped and supported, right? All of those Black organizations that you saw with the grant money, they're in the Facebook group. You can come in and ask them anything you want. You have to be, of course, in the course to get into the Facebook group. All right. It's Q&A time. I'm going to stop sharing, get to the Q&A. Before you go anywhere, I need you to do one thing for you, not for me. For you, not for me. I believe in manifestation. You came to get help. I want you to do this for you right now, everybody, before you leave, do this for you. I want you to put into the chat right now, I am ready to get grant money. Everybody type, get it out, start here, get it through those fingers, get it through that keyboard, and get into the webinar chat. I am ready to get grant money. Karen, I am ready to get grant money. Say this for you. Like, get this out into the universe. Vicky, I'm ready to get grant money. Get it out into the universe. Rashika, Lorraine, I'm ready to get grant money. There's no being on the sidelines. You don't have time. You don't have time. Natisha, I'm ready to get grant money. $200 billion. $200 billion. Black organizations getting 5 and 6 figure grants. Not now, right now. Denise, Dr. Carl, Vicky, Roberta, Grace, I'm ready to get grant money. What? That's right, Vicky. Where are you going to be in 3 months? You still going to be sitting on the sidelines letting somebody tell you, oh, you know they cut all the grants. You know there's no grant money. And now you know that there is. Literally, you know that there's grant money available, right? Karen, I'm ready to get grant money. Grace, I'm ready to get grant money. Roberta, Michael, like, do this for you. Michael, you have a great name. Michael Frank's one of my favorite artists. Do this for you. Do this for you. Don't do this for me. There are people waiting on you. There are people waiting on you. You are waiting on you. You are asking yourself, what are you doing? You are waiting on you. You are waiting on you. I gotta tell you how this gets me emotional, how needed you are. You cannot believe what you see on TV, not everything or everything you read. Your business, your nonprofit is needed. I've just seen like some of the information put into the chat. It's needed. You cannot give up. You cannot give up. All right. Before I get to the Q&A, really quickly, I'm going to show you how to buy the courses because people are asking. Let me share my screen really quickly. All right. This is how you buy the AI course. That's super easy because there's no code. Click the link in the chat. You decide you're going to pay $117. That is such a crazy price, but it's my intro price. It's going to be $497. It's $117. Or pay two times $67. Yes, seriously. You can pay $67 a month for 2 months and get this AI. So that's how you buy it. Literally, that's the sale price. You click, you click it, this is what you get. It's $117. Now, for those of you who want to meet with me privately, you can. I offer an Ask the Expert private grant coaching session. It's one-on-one, it's with me privately. Oh, I get you together in that hour. I'm telling you, I get you together. We're going to go through your mission, vision, infrastructure, your target population, all your services, your impact, your need. And at the end of that meeting, we're going to use AI to get you a nice little executive summary that you're going to use to start applying for grants. It is a strategy session. You even leave with a little mini list of grants. It's $497 for the hour. You get the strategy notes and you get the video. The only time it's reduced to $247, you have to buy it with one of these courses. And then it's reduced by 50%, but you got to buy it with the course. Now, that's how you buy the AI. How do you buy the full grant writing course? Click the link. There are two links. Click the link to the grant writing course. You're going to come to this page here. This is has a couple of more steps because you got to use your code because the price is $497 that people pay, but you're only paying $297, so you've got to use your coupon. Hit purchase now. You will see this page. Please click have a coupon and put in your coupon is OCT02. Hit apply. It will take $200 off. You're only paying $297. You still have the ability to buy that one-on-one with me, right? But here is what is amazing. Amazing. We offer buy now, pay later. So you can literally, whether you buy the full grant writing course at $297 or the AI course at $117, you can divide either one into 4 payments. Do you know what that means? That means this grant writing course and everything you get, including access to me, because you need to know that my colleagues charge $2,000 for their grant writing course. I'm not going to do it because I need to keep it as low as possible to just help more people. All right. Divide 300 by 4, that's $75 a month. The AI course is that's almost insane because $117 by 4 is like what? That's not even $30 a month. You can do it with either one. This is what you do. If you want the buy now, pay later, put in your email address. I don't know why they make it so difficult, but let me show you. If you want the buy now, pay later, when you get to the payment method, click pay another way, then click new payment method until you see your options. We offer Affirm. You may have to click the little drop down or Afterpay or Klarna, 4 months, same as cash. Now, if you don't want to do that, you just want to make the one payment, you can, because we do accept PayPal, credit cards, even Google Pay. All right. All right. So just needed to show you how to buy the course. Let me get back and I'm going to start the Q&A. All right. D, send me an email. How do I structure a way to get a grant for a startup business owner needing startup money to get legal assistance so it's properly done? I got the answer for you. So the question is, how do I structure a way to get a grant for a startup business who needs startup money to get legal assistance to make sure that he's starting the organization correctly? You can get startup money, but you need an organization, right? When you get startup money for your business, you need to have a business first. Remember, go back through the webinar, go to the slide where it says grant ready. You have to be structured. You have to have your EIN. You need your name. You need your articles now. The second part of your question was you want to make sure that legally you are set up correctly. That's where you go to SCORE. SCORE is totally free. They will give you guidance as to how to set your organization up the correct way. I'm going to drop them into the chat. They're funded by the SBA, the Small Business Administration. SCORE, let me put in the HTTP, score.org, I believe it is. Go to SCORE, set up a meeting with them. They're in most major cities. They consist of retired executives. They will help you through the process of what you need to do to get set up correctly. All right? All right. Let's see, let's see, let's see. All right, questions, questions, questions. Let me get to the questions. Yes, the AI course is only $117, people. That's it. That's it. It's $117. The main course is $297. All right, let's see, let's see, let's see. Okay. I'm I'm looking for questions. There's still time to ask them. Let me go through. Let's see. My business is providing applied behavior analysis therapy to children and young adults in their homes and community. Excellent. There's multiple ways, multiple areas where you should be seeking a grant, right? So you have a small business, so seek your small business grants. That's one. Two, your target population is children and young adults, right? So search for grants that are geared towards organizations that serve children and young adults. Number three, you're providing applied behavior analysis therapy, right? So that's all a part of mental health and wellness. That's like what your fourth category. So all of you should be seeking grants across multiple categories. Who gives grants that don't need an LLC and 501? So the LLC is not that you need an LLC, that's just a small business. Your small business could be a sole proprietor, right? So we don't want to say it has been LLC. I think you mean small businesses and nonprofits. There are some grants that are given to individuals. Usually those individuals are in grad school and need research assistance. They need money for research in grad school. Those are really the only individual grants I know of. Grants are geared towards small businesses and nonprofits. Now, there are some grants that are being given by state governments to help you find a job, right? I know in Ohio, we have Ohio Means Jobs. Through Ohio Means Jobs, they give grants to individuals to help them further their education, to help them with training, but that's through your state government. So I would look at your state government. Your typically it's like your state's Department of Development or Department of Job Training and see if they have any grants because I know in Ohio they do. All right. Let's see. Other questions. Let's see, let's see, let's see. You have until Sunday to get the discounts, just so you know. The $117 for the AI is going away Sunday. It will be $497. The the full grant writing course, that $297 is going away Sunday. So you have until Sunday to get those huge discounts. All right. Let's see. Other questions. How do you cite the information you use in the grant narrative? So you can do it a number of ways. That's a really great question. If they allow you an appendix, you can put it in the appendix in the back of the grant. But if they don't, right? Because oftentimes the way the grant is structured, you can't do footnotes. You're not going to be able to do footnotes. So literally, you can put in parentheses, which is what I typically do, put into parentheses just the organization, because they are not checking citations. Not that you shouldn't cite, you should cite, but put, so for example, when I was working with a lot of veterans organizations, a lot of the data that I was using was coming from the Department of Veteran Affairs. So I would just literally put into quotations Department of Veteran Affairs, right? Or in quotations US Census. So just put it in quotations because you don't want it to take up a lot of your character or your word space, right? And then if it's an online form and you want to link it, you can link that to where you got the data. I did that as well. So I would just put US Department of Veterans Affairs or USDE or some, DV or something like that. And then I would just do a hyperlink of those words back to where I got the article from, just in case they want the citation. You can do that. But you just want to make sure you're not taking up a lot of your character space or your word space with citations, but citations are important. How long can we use it? The coupon is good until Sunday. The $117 price is good until Sunday. All right. The courses do not expire, people. You are getting you are getting the chance to learn artificial intelligence to help you earn money for two payments of $67 for $117. You've got to keep asking yourself, where do you want to be in a few months? This is a game changer for you to help you get grant funding. It is just a game changer for you, right? And if you can only buy the AI powered grant accelerator, buy the AI powered grant accelerator, right? You can literally write out some information about your need statement or your history, put that into AI and ask AI to rewrite it or make it longer, to make it more in depth. If you've got a website, give it the URL. It's going to be amazing for you. Amazing for you. Like this is going to save you so much time. Even the grant writing course saves you time because when you create the grant template, you're going to use that template to start applying to grant after grant after grant. Even the full course saves you time because now you've got your grant template. If you want to learn about this process of how you should be writing about your organization, that's what the course will help you with. It will teach you how to write about your organization in the best way possible. And you need that information. All right. All right. Let's see. Other questions. I saw one question. Residential boarding homes for seniors and mental health clients. That's a great one. That's a great one. A word to the wise. I hear this a lot. People want grant money to just build a boarding home or buy a boarding home. Start small, find a location that you can rent out first, make it successful, and then seek money where you can either just build from the ground up or just buy a complete home. Start small, even if you have to rent out half of a duplex so that you can have a few rooms for your seniors and for your mental health clients. Make it successful because the more successful you are, the more impact that you can show, the more grant money you're going to be able to ask for and probably get. So just start slow. All right. Do we need the AI accelerated with the full course? Does it go hand in hand? It absolutely goes hand in hand, but you can buy either or. If you buy the AI accelerator, that's going to help you, right? But keep in mind, you've got to feed AI. You've got to feed AI. So you've got to be able to come up. Maybe you already have information about your organization that you can feed it. Great, right? Great. But the best thing to do, absolutely, at the price point, is to get them both 297 and 117 for everything, right? That's not even $450 for a way forward for you. But if you just want to buy the AI, just buy the AI, right? It's going to say you will be able to write grants 5 times faster. 5 times faster. My recommendation, yes, definitely to get both. But the AI is remarkable. But the course is just going to give you everything you need to know. So even if you decide to hire a grant writer later, you will know what they should be asking you. That's why I have so many grant writers that buy the course. They want to become better writers, to be able to write about organizations. You got to learn how to write about your organization in the best way possible. And then, excuse me, you can feed it into AI. All right, let's see. Do you do you have to begin the courses at the same time? No, definitely not. Definitely not. No. You can start the regular course because it's soup to nuts. The regular course is soup to nuts. It tells you all you need to know about grant writing. But once you start writing in the main course, because it's going to ask you to write your need statement, right? And so the main course is going to ask you, write about your need statement, write about what is it that you are trying to overcome or solve. And it's going to teach you how to write it. And then take what you've written and dump it into the AI program. Dump it into the AI program, right? Because it also shows you how to take what you've written in your need statement and plug it into AI. And remember, I have a custom chat GPT that was created that is laser focused on grant writing. That's already built into the program. So that need statement that you wrote about, you can plug it into the AI program. It's going to give you a better answer. It's guaranteed to give you a better answer than what you wrote. Guaranteed to give you a better, even if you've written about your history on your website, plug your history that you wrote about your organization into the AI. It's going to redo your history and make it even better. It's guaranteed to make the writing better. That's something I can guarantee you. It's guaranteed to make your writing better. All right. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. So you can literally work them both at the same time. Like there's nothing to be fearful about. There just isn't. Especially with AI. There's so many people afraid of AI. You literally saw what I did. What did I do? I gave it a question. I gave it a prompt. You got 150 prompts just in the AI course that covers every part of the grant application. Literally, I give you the tools. This thing is going to basically write for you because I've given you everything that you need. I've given you all of the prompts, but you've got to feed it some information. You see how I only told it what I did, the city I was in, my programming, like it was a transitional program for veterans in Columbus, Ohio. Just a couple of words. Can you imagine what it's going to do once you're able to really feed it information about your program, like how many people you serve? That was super simple. And you see what it did. You would have taken hours to come up with that research. That is what AI can do for you, right? That is what AI can do for you. All right. Now, for example, when you are searching for grants, you can use AI to search for grants. But I highly recommend you use a portal that I talked about, Grant Watch, Grant Station, Foundation Directory Online. And in the major grant writing course, I have a video. I show you how to use those portals. I always recommend using the portals. You can use ChatGPT to help find grant funders for you, but it's not going to be as in-depth as you using that grant portal because they are laser focused on providing grants. And also when you get into the Facebook group, we provide grants. Remember in the major course, you get a list of 600 funders. You get that in the main course. You get a list of 600 organizations that provide grants. You get that in the course, the main course, right? And when you come into the Facebook group, you will get list of grants. We are constantly dropping grants in the Facebook group. So for those of you who are buying the course, you're going to get 3 emails. Your email with your username and password for the courses that you got. Your link to the Facebook group is the same Facebook group. You want to be in the Facebook group. It's all about collaboration, it's not about competition, right? And then a welcome. And this is what I'm going to do for you to help you. This is not a part of the presentation, but I want to do this for you because I want to hear your testimonials. When you get into the Facebook group, I'm going to ask you for a synopsis of your organization. Just give me 3 or 4 sentences and your location and let me know if you're a profit or nonprofit. I'm going to give you a few links to grants based on your organization privately. I will give you those links that are custom to your organization so that you can get off to a good start. And keep in mind, you're going to get the buy blacklist too. You'll get the buy blacklist. All right. All right. I believe we are done. Let me just make sure that there are no more questions. That's right. So I get you. But so do it now. The person that just sent me that, I'll keep you private because you sent it to the host and panelists. Do it now. This is what happens. You are not alone. People get fearful. It's like, oh my gosh, like I have other things to do. Like I can't do this. Knowing that they have help and they go on to something else and they're literally leaving grant money on the table while they're still funding out of their pockets their organization when they could have placed themselves in a position where they're getting grant funding that they don't pay back. I said it before, I'll say it again. Time is money. Time is money, right? Time is money. Where do you want to be in 3 months? Where do you want to be? We're in October. Oh my gosh. We're in October. January 1st, you need to be ready to go. You need to be ready to go January 1st because there are more grants available at the beginning of the year. Why? Because a lot of grants are first come, first served. Like literally now is the best time for you to buy this so that you are getting yourself acclimated. When these grants open January 1st, you want to be in position. Literally, it's like just it came to my mind like the start of a race, right? You want to be in position. You want to be prepared, prepped, in position to get these grants because there are so many grants that are going to be opening January 1st, right? Everybody will get a copy of the recording. Everybody. Melissa, if you could drop my email into the webinar chat, just drop the email into the webinar chat. People, please put this email into your email contact list because you're going to get the replay via email. So you're going to get emails for the next 3 days reminding you that you've got a replay and that you have the code that you need if you want to buy the grant writing course and then the link to buy the AI course. I have to say, whatever you do, people do not pass up that AI course for $117. Like, please don't pass that up. It has changed my life. AI has changed my life. It has. It absolutely has. I use it every day, every day. And now you can use it to get yourself grant money. All right. All right. Yes, my contact information. Absolutely. I just dropped it into the webinar chat. Hello at grantwritingfornonwriters.com. Send me an email. And D, you're sending me an email too. So send me, if you have questions, send me an email. If you want to meet with me privately, you have that opportunity. So if you want to meet with me privately, you can do that when you buy the course. If not, it's $497 for the hour, but it's only $247 one-on-one if you buy it with one of the programs, even the 117 program. All right. So you've got to ask yourself, what are you going to do to place yourself in a position to finally get grant money? Right? Are you going to still be frustrated in 3 months? Some people, they attend webinars and they take the information, they try to implement it themselves without getting any help, and they're back in the same position in 3 months. We're here to help you. We're here to help you. All right. So I believe that's it. I've answered all of the questions. I want to thank you for hopping on. Again, my name is Linda Peavy, creator of the course Grant Writing for Non-Writers and AI-powered grants. Write winning proposals faster. I want to thank you for hopping on because I know you could have been elsewhere. Now I am here again tonight at 7 o'clock. Melissa, if you could drop the link to register for tonight's session, if you know anybody that needs this information, right? Everything I went through, getting grant ready. How do you position? How do you write the mission? How do you showcase, right? Your impact. If you know anybody that needs this information, please give them the link to register for the session tonight. It's the same exact session. It will be 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. All right. So if you could drop the link. So Melissa just dropped the link into the webinar chat. But again, what did you tell me you were going to do? You're going to share this information. So when you get the recording, share the information with other Black organizations so that they know, yes, grant money is available. All right. Thank you so much. Uh, I hope to hear from you, Michael. You said you were going to send me an email, so I'll look for the email. Thank you all. I hope to see you in the Facebook group so that you can move forward. Just so you know, I do have other services that are at completely different price points. I provide grant research. If you want me to create a specialized list of grants for you, that starts at $1,500. I have a grant boot camp that starts at $2,000. Literally, the last person that took the boot camp, they had a $100,000 grant in 8 weeks. They had never written a grant before. That boot camp is 2 days. You and me, 7 hours a day for 2 days. It is a boot camp. That one's $2,000. And then I provide ongoing grant coaching that starts at $2,000. So I do have other resources. If you're interested, send me an email. I want to thank you all for hopping on. Whatever you do, people, you cannot stop. You've got to keep moving forward. Your services are so needed. Your business, your nonprofit, please, whatever you do, be ready to get some money January so that you can stop self-funding your organization. All right. Thank you so much. Have a blessed weekend. Have a blessed rest of your week. Stay safe, right? Stay stay alert. Stay encouraged because of a lot of what you're seeing out here is meant to discourage you. Stay encouraged. You can see that there are Black organizations that they're winning grant money to help with their services and their organizations. All right. So I hope to see you in the course so that you will allow me to help you. I'm here to help you. All right. Thank you so much. And hopefully I will see you all soon. Bye bye.